Welcome to this video on the Zenwara channel. My name is Shri Satguru, Buddha Rawa Bhagwan. Today's video we're going to talk a little bit more about Gudimallam. So Gudimallam is a temple in India, and it's a very famous temple. It's known as one of the oldest temples of Shiva in India. And Gudimallam has a very unique lingam. Okay. There are different theories about the origin of this lingam, but the lingam essentially is made of poisonous substances that have been created together to harden to make like a stone-like substance, which was carved in the shape of a version of Shiva stepping on a version of ignorance, right, which is evil, and is the evil represented by the evil that is contained by the cap. So a Gudimallam, the Mallam is a cap on top of the evil of the place. And the reason it's called Gudimallam is mal in French is evil, Mallam, right? And so it's the place that holds the evil, that holds back the evil, that transforms the evil. So this is known by some people, the Gudimallam, and other people. The origin of the name of Gudimallam, and what is at Gudimallam is a version of evil that is held back by the temple and by the people who go to maintain this lingam here at this temple. So Gudimallam is a very ancient place, okay, a very ancient place, much more ancient than people know. And it actually dates back to a civilization that had a golden age, similar to ours with technology and all these things today. They had technology in that day as well. So when Gudimallam was first created in the story, there were technology such as things like helicopters and flying vehicles and stuff like that. When Gudimallam was first put into the story, etc., in a golden age of technology. So Gudimallam was a very ambitious project. What happened with Gudimallam is it exists within many different parts of the stories and has many different stories that come into Gudimallam. It's known as the place that never changes, the place that is steady throughout the story. So even structurally, there's little activity, for example, influencing the ground and stuff like that at Gudimallam. It's a very known as the place of the battle, where the battle between good and evil, between the continuance of the story and the ending of the story takes place, right? So it's known as the place, one of the places in the world where evil is contained. So there are different places in the world where there are evil that exists in a physical location of place, and it seeks to move from that location using people and technology methods to spread. And there are different parts of the evil. Evil affects the mind, evil affects the heart, evil affects the body parts, and their representations of what they represent, etc. So there are different areas in the world that hold evil. And at Gudimallam, it's the evil that affects the heart, the worst evil. The evil that corrupts the heart that gets people through all those bad things in life, you know? Remember, they say, be a being of the heart. Well, follow your heart. Well, if it's corrupted, you're in big trouble. Because when you need your heart to be there for you and to get you through those moments of humanity's greater challenges, if the heart's corrupted, you're in trouble. So there's an evil that exists at Gudimallam. Picture black tentacles of evil that seek to spread from Gudimallam. And at Gudimallam, this energy, this evil side of God, one of the evil facets of evil, and its localization at Gudimallam is contained with a lingam on top. And the reason it's made of these poisonous elements is because it serves as a shield for the evil, but also it allows it to be transformed into miracles by passing through the lingam, which is also a transforming tool, a tool of transformation to transform the evil and use its power of its evil to transform into miracles to help the world and prominent people in the world. So it's known that many prominent people go to Gudimallam for a blessing when they're invited there, usually for a specific reason by the priest of Gudimallam, to try to come in for a miracle, and it's deemed that the risk of them coming in for a miracle because of their influence on the world, and we hope that it will be a good influence on the world, is worth going for the miracle, even of the risks of the Lingam at Gudimallam. Because the risk is that the Lingam is leaking. So it's scratched. There's a crack in the Lingam, and it's no one knows how to fix it, and everybody's scared that if you try to fix it, you'll take away the miracle properties of the Lingam, which are essential to the continuation of the story and of the success of humanity, those miracles. However, it's also essential that the Lingam be fixed for that to be sustainable in the future, because right now the evil is leaking through the Lingam, getting into people, and then spreading across the world as it's moving through people and through communication methods and technologies and spreading. And it's the corruption of the heart, which is a terrible evil. So at Gudimallam, there are people who know about this, right? About this risk of this Lingam, and usually access to that Lingam is somewhat restricted in that sense as well, because of the properties of that Lingam and the fact that the evil is leaking and spreading from there and trying to spread. But sometimes you invite the people who need to get those miracles, for it's deemed important for them to get those miracles of the Lingam, even no matter the risk, right? So they're brought through the process and all these different things. And this is a story of Gudimallam. Okay, so Gudimallam Lingam needs to be fixed. It needs to be healed so that the miracles keep coming through, but that the evil is now contained again. And it's just the evil being processed into miracles without the evil filtering through. Like right now, it's so corrupt that the evil is leaking through. So even to try to clean it, you need to absorb the evil with moss and try to, in steps, heal the Lingam. There's a whole process to heal the Lingam at Gudimallam. And anyway, so Gudimallam has been around for a long time. It comes from a golden age of civilization when they knew how to transform, when to do processes of alchemy at very high levels, and they knew how to capture the evil of the human heart and transform it into the miracles of goodness. Okay, so they used technology at Gudimallam to trap that evil, and what they created at Gudimallam is a prison. It's a prison temple. It's now a temple, but initially Gudimallam started as a prison, and it was a prison for that evil which is contained under the Lingam, which is a cap put on top of the evil. A cap Lingam. Okay, like really a cap, a cover, like you have a cover over Chernobyl that holds in the nuclear plant, a cover like that. That's what's on top. That's that Lingam at Gudimallam. And the evil is contained underneath. Okay, so it's a prison compound at Gudimallam, and in the past in the story, they used to deliver items there that needed to be imprisoned because they were problematic in the story. So it was kept as a prison compound where things that needed to be imprisoned were kept imprisoned, including the evil under that Lingam. So that it exists in many different stories and views and experiences of knowledge, Gudimallam. It has many different storylines which come in one into the other. And so it's a prison compound. It's the temple where the final battle happens, the battle between good and evil, the waking of evil, all of that stuff. There's a lot going on taking place there, and it's also the evil trying to seek and move into the world from Gudimallam, and also the miracles of Gudimallam Lingam, because of ancient technology that uses the evil there to transform it into powerful miracles to help the world and help society and help us in the future coming ages. But first we must heal the Lingam because it's gotten old. And the reason humanity is here and has had the successes it's had over the years and all that is because of those miracles of Gudimallam and other miracles like this. But the miracles of Gudimallam are unique in the way that they come at their origin from evil and are transformed through that Lingam process of transformation into miracles of a high importance for the continuation of the story. But the thing is, what cost do we keep the miracles, knowing that the evil is coming through? And what do? We don't know how to stop the evil. Well, there is a way, and the way is to heal the lingam, heal the cover on top of it by fixing it, essentially re-cementing the cracks. But first you have to take out the evil with the moss, and there's a whole process of burning the moss in the air and all these different things. No one gets the smoke within them, and all these different processes to heal the lingam, to do the work to heal that lingam, and that needs to be done to heal it, to stop the evil from coming out, and to save the healing, transformative, miracle properties of the lingam at the same time. So Gudimallam, Gudi, right, where Malam, where the place where evil is held in, right, the place that guards against the evil, Gudimallam, right, the guard against the evil, right, the place that transforms the evil into good, the crown achievement of a civilization that transformed evil into good. Right, with that technology of Gudimallam and the lingam there, which is a lingam of great power for miracle. So it needs to be healed, right? And it was a prison compound, right? They used to deliver things to that prison compound in the story in the flying vehicles. So a golden age of society. Okay, that built Gudimallam, and eventually it stayed there over the times. Civilizations changed, the civilization fell, all these different things, all these different transformations over time, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, in a world where time can even change, with the God changing the past. Okay, so many flexible stories interconnecting and coming in together in basically a determination of priorities over story precedence, okay, and determination for the future. So Gudimallam, a prison compound for the evil that holds in the evil, okay, and also a temple where miracles happen because people can go to Gudimallam, and it's been around for a long time. In the past age, when they had the challenge of the age and the Satguru of the age came, okay, he came to Gudimallam, and basically with his knowledge, the Satguru of the previous age saved the previous age from the challenge of the age, leading into the next age, etc. And this happens in the cycle of the ages, when the Satguru of the age comes, leads the society through the challenge of the age, successfully continuing the story into the next golden age that comes after the challenge of the ages, right? In a cyclical nature, and the Sadguru comes back to lead society, to do the work, the processes to lead into the next golden age that comes once the challenge of the age has been successfully addressed or defeated, right? And this happens at Gudimallam, and in the previous age, the Gudimallam that happens. So at Gudimallam, you see a very interesting phenomenon at Gudimallam. There are a series of stones, 7 stones, you know, and some people might say, oh, it's because of Chola or whatever type of kings, the area that visited there and made these stones. No, the middle stone is the stone of the Sadguru of the age, okay? And it's actually created in a specific way so that it can communicate messages to specific individuals, as are the other ones, okay? These are lineage stones of authority. And in one of the lineage, and in the lineage descendants from the Sadguru, okay, and in the stones that are in the compound of the temple, there is also a lineage of a member of the royal family who joined the lineage. And although he wasn't in necessarily the most powerful of masters, he was of royal lineage, and he was of the lineage of the Sadguru descendants. And he had his own stone that was put there within the lineages of the 7 stones. Okay, and there's a whole storyline to all of this. And beside the main stone, there are the stones on each side. And there are some stones that were removed, right? They're missing stones, right? You see the bottom part, but not the top of the stone, because these are people that disgraced the lineage, and their stone was removed. And they had their own lineages and processes that went evil or things like that. And there's a whole history of the lineage of the stones there. And this is the lineage of the Satguru of the previous age. Those 7 stones. The center stone is his Satguru stone of the previous age, with his students beside, who created their own lineages as gurus, who created their own paramparas under the lineage of the Satguru parampara, in the descendants of parampara, as is the ways of Satgurus and gurus, their students. I'll leave it at this for this channel, this video on the channel today. Thank you for listening to this video on the Zen World channel.